Hey everyone, this is Rachel Mooney.
This is Cindy.
This is Maggie.
And this is Andrea, and you're listening to Real Her Talk, houses, heels, and real estate deals.
Okay, so this is a true story. Maggie is not feeling good, had taken some medication, and she texted us and was like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry I'm not going to make it. And I was like, it's okay, well, we're good. And it won't be the first time, it would just be the three of us. But I'm like, oh, there's tons of people in the office today because it's team meeting day. I was like, I'll run around and find somebody. So I knock on their door and I'm like, hey, anybody want to be a guest on the podcast? And Alexa's like, well, when? I'm like, 60 seconds or so? And she's like,
I was like, what's the topic? She goes,
no, I said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No, so I was going to say, like, we have a little group chat. And what I put in there is, like, everything that's been going on because in our lives, because we haven't, like, we record now every other week, and then I was out of town, and before that I was sick, and it's like been just crazy.
a lot.
It's been a lot. And so I was like, all right, we're just gonna catch up because Rachel made me do a thing.
What did she make you do? What'd you make her do?
I'm going to let her tell you.
No, you say it.
I made her buy a car. Is that what you're talking about, that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I made her buy a
The
car.
Tesla?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. I saw. Why is it?
It was
how
her
is
fault,
it her fault?
Oh,
It's 100%, and it's because of the
Yeah.
podcast.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She dissed our Porsches.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
I did. But, I mean, this drives very similar. Don't you think?
Oh, it does.
It's very similar to the way the Porsche drives. Very
Alexis is in here going, what?
Valerie so much differently than me.
No, but here's the thing, is that, like, okay, so we've all owned Porsches, and don't worry, Maggie never had one, so she was over here like, this
Yeah, no,
boring
me.
conversation.
No, yeah.
And but Rachel's like, I'm saving so much money a month. And I'm like, so I call her later that night, and I'm like, it's fainted at me because the Porsche maintenance and tires and all the things are so expensive.
Mhm.
And so,
And they're not expensive on the Tesla?
Mm-mm.
No.
There's no maintenance. I mean, you have tire maintenance, yes, like every 40,000 miles or so, but no brakes, no engine, nothing.
Why no brakes?
Because go ahead.
Yeah, it accelerates and decelerates, or whatever that term is, like a golf cart. So you like raise your foot up off the gas and it starts to slow down for you. So the only time you really ever hit the brake is like in an emergency situation, or like the car in front of you is stopping way faster than what you predicted. And so, yeah. And then the battery life is 10-year battery life on it.
And
So
like,
there's-
Yeah,
and
but
the
aren't
warranty.
the batteries like 20 grand?
I don't know. We'll never keep a car
Yeah,
that
we'll never
long.
have it that long.
Oh, yeah.
I like I keep a house, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, not
2.5 years max.
Yeah.
Like it'll
Yeah.
it'll be off to something else, I'm sure, by then.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is I took it on the road trip. I took it to Disney.
Oh, how did it go?
Okay,
I
so
cannot wait to hear this.
first of all,
Did
y'all,
you do the autopilot?
I used that auto drive the whole way there and back. Freaking amazing.
Yeah, but it doesn't know where the roads are closed or the construction is.
Yes, she does.
Mhm. Yeah,
She's linked to the satellite. She knows where everything is.
Yes,
And
it's
she
very
maneuvers
smart.
around cones, everything.
Mhm. Mine actually saw a ghost the other day.
Did it?
Yes, it did, in Marietta. And if you Google, like, can a Tesla find
See a ghost?
ghosts? Yes. So because it's got all these cameras, and I was sitting at the middle of an intersection in Marietta the other day, and here comes a figure on my screen walking like there was somebody there. Nobody there. I was like,
Nuh-uh.
what? Yeah. And
Okay,
so
that would creep me out.
it was a little creepy. And then at first I was like, well, that can't, like,
Was
next
this daytime or
was-
nighttime?
It was daytime.
Oh.
And it was downtown Marietta, like historic area.
Yeah.
And a little figure walks right out there. So I had Olivia Google it because I'm like, can Teslas, because I had heard this at some point, like, it can capture everything. And there is a study where it captured ghosts in a cemetery, and it freaked the people out. So there's like a
No
study.
kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? Right? So I kind of want to
Wow.
go through a cemetery and just see.
Rachel's like, I'm going
Go
to
down
tour the cemeteries.
Go downtown though. Go downtown to the oldest cemetery and
Oakland,
try that.
Oakland
Oh, or just
Cemetery.
drive around Lake Lanier.
That's true.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's sadder.
That's
Well,
sadder.
Because at least if you're at a cemetery, you know
they're
they,
peaceful.
you know, they're peaceful. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
they used to put bells on people's fingers for a reason.
What? I don't know this story.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
No,
You
that
tie a string. The bell was above
Yeah.
the grave,
Yeah.
and the string was you thread a string down to the person that's in the casket because they were not always like, what was it, the plague?
yeah, it was the
Oh,
plague.
they weren't always.
They weren't always dead.
Yeah, because they could be in a coma, and then they
Wow.
had fears of this, and so they would tie a string. So then, if you woke up, you could ring the bell.
Isn't that something?
Mhm.
I had
Groom
no idea.
service.
I think it would be like dig me out service, but you know, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Like I would
Yeah.
panic. I'd be like, ding, ding, ding. Like I would not. My finger would not
Now.
stop. Yeah.
Now, that's not the finger.
Yeah. Yeah. I would, that is like a major fear of being. That's why I don't go in caves and stuff because.
You
Buried
can come
alive.
back as a
Yes.
French bulldog because they're manic like that too. I have a new puppy.
Or a Yorkie.
Yeah. I mean,
No, so okay, so that went in a different direction.
really.
yeah,
Sorry,
totally.
No, that's what this is the podcast. And you were worried, you were like, what in depth things are y'all talking about here?
Yeah.
And we're talking about real life.
Mhm. Yeah.
And ghosts.
And ghosts.
And
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
And
Life and
history.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Because
never know what you're
I
gonna get.
wanted to prepare and study. You can't prepare for that.
She did.
And
She came in with notes.
Yeah.
and I would have used a bad word because you can't.
You can't
You
use
can't-
bad words.
No,
Well,
you can't.
we-
Because
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just,
Just in case.
ratings.
Well-
like you get rated. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
well,
Good to
and we have to keep it on a higher level than.
Yes.
Oh, well, that should go.
No, you're stuck now. Why do you think I did let you sit in there so that I could lock your estate?
Yeah. You can't go anywhere now.
Yeah. So no, the autonomous driving, worth every penny because you pay extra for it. Totally worth it. I'm so obsessed with it.
So is it totally electric or is it hybrid?
No, it's totally electric.
So did you have to stop along the way?
Yeah,
and
tell us
charge?
about that. You plugged in the address of where we were going into
Yes.
Disney, and it gave you the points of where to stop and charge.
Yes, and because we got the high performance model, and by we, it's not just Seth and I, Rachel and I bought the same car.
It's a
Yeah.
club.
It's a club.
It's a club, yeah.
So we ended up we stopped twice. If you had like the long range one, you'd only have to stop once, but it's worth it because we like to go faster. So it's fun. And it was 15 minutes at one stop and like 18 minutes at the other.
That's not
And then when I got down to Orlando one morning, I got up and I went to a Tesla supercharger because I don't know how else to say this, but there's like peasant chargers.
Mhm.
And that's what all the other chargers are.
Mhm.
Or it could be a just standard charger,
Mhm.
not a
Mhm.
peasant charger.
Standard charger.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, it's peasant. Let me tell you the difference.
we know the difference.
So at Disney,
One didn't
Like
make
my
you
car
wait.
versus hers.
no, this is a true story. So the Tesla chargers like literally can go from 0 to like 220 miles in like 15 to 18 minutes, right? It's that fast. So I at Disney and they're like, okay, some of the resorts have EV chargers. I'm like, excellent. So we're at Riviera, which is one of the brand new ones, and they have them. I'm like, great. So I pull in, I back in, and you have to have this adapter that you plug in because it's the peasant charger. And then you plug it in 9.5 hours.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
That's too slow.
That's
nine
way slow.
and
I
a half
thought you were
hours.
going to say like 3 to 4.
Right. No. So when I say peasant charger, I mean, we are talking the difference between I can go from a 0 to completely full charge on the Tesla superchargers. I think it was like 45 minutes because it auto slows down at the last little bit because it doesn't want to, it won't fry your batteries.
Uh-huh.
These were literally 9 to 9.5 hours and I wasn't even on like E. And so I just left it plugged in literally and left it there all day long
Right.
and had to go. I wouldn't move my car because I didn't want to take up a spot. But I was like, how do you charge off those?
I guess
Almost
if you're
an
going
overnight,
to
I
work
guess.
or whatever and you plug it in and then you're just
Or
gone
somebody
for the
that
day.
just, stays home and Like,
Yeah.
doesn't have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe they get there early.
But that should
and-
not be a resort. That should not be a resort.
No, but that's what all the normal. So like the one outside here, like that's what the normal chargers are, because that's what most
Super slow.
Yeah.
EVs take, and they're so slow. But Tesla's superchargers have like their own like little power station that's there. But we, what's interesting is all these businesses had them. So it was at Buc-ee's,
Mhm.
had the supercharging.
So you could just go in and eat
Wow.
lunch and hang out.
Yes.
And,
And so the shopping centers have them, like all these places, because they want you to come in and shop
and
or
eat.
do their whatever.
The thought of you at Buc-ee's just
Oh,
makes me
I
giggle.
walked in, I got a barbecue sandwich, and I looked at Seth and I was like, I'm gonna have a legitimate panic attack.
I know,
must
it's a
leave.
lot.
I can't imagine.
I've
you
only been
going
in
to
once.
Buc-ee's.
It was, I mean,
I love Buc-ee's.
I've only been once this
I
last
only
time.
love
been twice.
Buc-ee's.
My grandson
It's
loves
just fun
Buc-ee's.
for me.
no, if I didn't have such
That's
bad vertigo,
It's a lot.
it would
going
be
on.
worth people watching alone.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It is a fascinating convergence of
I mean, because you
society.
can buy
Mhm.
fishing poles and
Mhm.
bathing suits and baby shower gifts and wedding gifts and camping gear and food for the day
And
Yeah.
sushi
find a
and
picnic
barbecue.
basket and you know.
And you can also buy entire beaver suits.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Do you want to know how I learned that?
What is that? Like a costume?
Yes, a
Yep.
full Buc-ee's beaver costume.
I was worried when you said beaver suit.
I was too. Button down, 2-button or 3-button?
Words.
It's true.
No words.
You could have done a one-man show. We're
Rachel!
just gonna.
Okay, you. I would expect that from Rachel. I did not expect
That's because
that
you
from.
just don't know her well enough.
No. Wow.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are we apologizing? That's
A
life.
whole new level.
Mhm.
See, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Mhm.
That falls under pursuit of happiness.
Happiness. Oh my god.
Yes, I found this out when my husband and his best friend and my son-in-law showed up in Asheville. No,
With them?
yes, no. Where were we? We were at Grand Ole Opry
Oh no.
in Nashville. And they all three dressed in them to go through the ice cave, and I was like,
That would have been a sight.
Pictures.
Yes.
Pictures.
"Oh, I have plenty of pictures."
Pictures.
Throw
No,
it.
they got tails and everything.
Rachel.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is hilarious.
Go that.
And
so
I am
funny.
like, you have got, I mean, literally got
Oh,
to
they
be
put the
kidding
hoods
me.
up too.
Oh yeah, this is them walking through the Grand Ole Opry.
That's hilarious.
And let's see, how many people are turning?
Oh no,
around?
we got so many pictures, and people actually stopped them to get pictures with them.
Of course they did.
And I was like, y'all, this is too much.
We need to do that at family reunion for referrals. Don't you think? Like we could walk down the hall, picture referral, you know,
I love it.
Oh,
With
where
Seth,
you're
I am
Anna.
not bringing Seth in that outfit. I will let you borrow it.
oh,
I'm thinking we can do it.
oh.
Rachel's like, everybody's in. I'm not in.
I'm thinking anybody that has joined in on the podcast, we go to family reunion in our costumes.
Oh,
I think we would need a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of like reviews or
Yes,
ratings or something to make
yeah.
that. We need like a contest
Yeah.
to make that happen.
Couldn't we
Oh.
choose a costume? I have a tiara.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe,
I-
maybe it should be beavers.
I think
I'm
it
not
shouldn't
sure
be.
that would be appropriate.
No, I think it should not be beavers.
no.
Nope.
I was thinking, maybe
Nope.
we can get mortgage
No.
loan officers male
To dress as princesses?
No,
dress as a beaver?
Bucky.
They could dress as Bucky,
Hmm.
but I don't.
Is
I don't
that
think
where
we
the
should.
beaver comes from? Is the Bucky
Yes.
beaver?
Bucky beaver.
Yeah.
I got it now. Okay. I am like way slow today. I did not
She
put
was
that
not
together.
following.
No,
I
you're
did
just
not
like,
put-
what is happening?
Yeah,
It's their logo.
I
It's
got
the
it
little
now.
Bucky
Yeah.
beaver.
Yeah. I did not put it
With
together.
a little red cap.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so that's where they got their little their little thing. So if you're listening on the podcast, I highly encourage you to go onto YouTube, and we will post the video of Seth and Steven and Anthony walking around in Bucky the Beaver costumes.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's surprising that there weren't more people turning around at the Opryland. So that, you know what that tells you. Bucky the Beaver is a very common thing in Tennessee.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Mhm.
I do think you are onto something, although I will say that was like right off the elevator. So as we get farther in, there's
a lot more stairs.
There's a lot more stairs. There's a lot more turning around, and then there's me going, "Oh my god, I'm not with these humans."
Yeah. But you're videoing.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
To
because
be fair. But that looks like everybody else is going, oh my God, did y'all see that?
right,
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
yeah. All right. So have you been auto driving at all?
We auto drived on Sunday night.
How was
From
it?
Gainesville. It was good, but so Shane was driving or auto drive. I was in the passenger seat, and we were going through Gainesville, and it only goes the speed limit, 35 to 45.
No, you can adjust that.
Okay, we were going the speed
Oh
limit.
Lord, no! I would have died.
It
Both
drove
things would
him
make me crazy.
bananas, so he took it off. He was like, "Okay, I gotta go back faster than 45."
Oh
he
no!
took it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we don't. So you just go in and plug it. I haven't played with it like you have. I gotta.
Oh, I have it on aggressive, so it won't stay behind slow people. I have it like to where it
Does the horn honk at
no,
people?
no, it doesn't need to. It just
No, but it changes lanes and everything.
Mhm.
Like if somebody's slowing down in front of you, like it'll put its blinker on and move, and it's crazy.
I can't.
You know what?
I am
Nobody even
way too
blinks an
controlling.
eye when you say you have it on aggressive mode.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out these things.
these
that
small things.
These that, yeah.
I need to know how to do that because ours was just staying on speed limit, and that's driving him nuts.
Oh no! And then if you want to go even faster than what you have it preset to, like
Mhm.
then you can go faster and then hit it again, and
Okay.
it's almost like cruise control. It'll keep that speed.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
She's been practicing.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Because I can't go slow.
No, we know that.
And you use
No.
it though. Don't you use it every day to come to work and stuff? Or you
So
wear-
I'm too antsy to come to work with it because like I'm like ready to go. But
Yeah.
driving home in traffic and stuff, yeah, I'm like, I just turn her on.
I can't.
You say that.
I don't see me ever. I don't like when other people drive, period.
No, I don't like when other people drive.
I can't imagine relinquishing control.
Well, I mean, you can take control at any time.
Mhm.
Like you just grab the steering wheel and do like you take it back.
Yeah.
You watch the road.
Although I did pass a kid yesterday and he was oh my God, he was going so slow. So I know, and he was not in a Tesla.
Yeah.
So he was not self-driving. He's just driving slowly with his knees, looking at his phone.
That-
No.
Oh yeah.
Looking
No.
at his phone. I went by him and
Honk
laid
at
on
him.
the horn. Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
I did.
Yeah.
Because he was going like 37 in a 45.
Oh,
See,
that
and
would
my
be
problem
nuts.
is like in the mornings, if I'm coming into the office, I usually leave between like 6:45, 7:00. So like I want to be here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're not out for a Sunday drive.
No.
It
Yeah,
kills
you're
me
getting
when
your-
somebody is like driving 5 below on the speed limit. I'm
No.
just like,
Mm-mm.
that is like a rage.
You don't want to live in
Canton,
Canton
no.
or Cherokee.
Yeah, they're
County.
slower over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
They're
sorry.
very methodical.
And you don't go the
They
speed
have to
limit in the
deal
left
with
lane. You don't.
age
I'm
group.
sorry. You don't even just go 5 over. The left lane is for people that have ticket money.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is the correct TikTok reference. And
Yeah.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
If you got ticket money, you're in the left lane. Otherwise, get out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or for people that think they have ticket money.
Well, that's what he said. Yeah, too.
I mean, I'll own it.
Mm-hmm.
I will totally own it because I am 70 miles an hour. I'm going 85.
Well, I know usually which threshold because I've never had a speeding
I
ticket in my
behave.
entire life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I going to get my real estate license. I on my birthday. Jenna and I, we're taking tests in the car. I mean, I'm paying attention to where I'm going, but I'm focusing. And your anxiety is builds, and so
Mhm.
and I was passing somebody, and we were on 95 and heading down to Savannah, and I saw him. I was like, I'm getting a ticket. She goes, no, you're not. Just get all the way over. I was like, nope, I'm getting a ticket. Sure enough, I get pulled over, and he comes walking up to the car. This one I had the escape, and it says state trooper. And he's got his hat on and everything. And he gets up to the car. He's really sweet. looks at my license, goes, "Oh, it's your birthday." Yep, it's my birthday.
You were hoping.
Be back in just a minute.
Oh.
He walks back, and I was like, maybe he's just going to give me a warning. Maybe. I mean, we've got the computer out. We're taking a test. He asked. We told him what we were doing on our way to take our state test, get our real estate license, and we were really focusing on the questions and just was a little anxious. And he comes back up and he hands me a ticket. I was like, "You gave me a ticket? It's my birthday and it's a special day." He goes, "I gave you a gift." And I said, "This is not the gift I wanted." And he said, "Well, I can give you the other one." And I said, "What's the other one? Not a ticket?"
Distracted.
And no, super speeder.
Oh, he did give you a gift.
I said,
Yeah.
"Thank you."
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
My bad.
Mhm. Mhm. That super speeder is no joke.
So
Mhm.
he gave me a gift. So yeah.
Oh, that's not terrible.
No,
Yeah.
that wasn't terrible. I would have preferred no ticket.
I've never even been pulled over for speeding though.
You are just,
Wow, you're lucky.
you're just
No, I'm
Yeah.
not.
karma. You just
No,
testing
It
karma.
is not. I'll tell you why. I do speed, but it is very strategic. It is exceptionally strategic. I will not speed.
I know where not. I do know where not to speed.
Yeah, and if you're gonna go through like you were like in that.
And I knew not to speed there.
I was gonna
just
say there,
wasn't paying
like they
attention.
hunt there, but no, I just like I won't speed. I won't go over 8 miles an hour on an expressway unless it's a bird dog. What's a bird dog? Is that what that looks for?
Mhm.
Bird dog is somebody that is going ahead of you. So
Oh.
I always will find somebody going faster, and I've always got my ways on. And like if I even see that there could be a police officer, like you'll see sometimes it'll be like they'll pop up.
Yeah.
I'll hit my brakes and I'm going slow for the next 5 to 8 miles.
Mhm.
But no, so I'm very strategic. I won't.
I get caught.
That's what my
I
daddy
caught
taught
South
me that.
Carolina.
Bird
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, because he traveled the southeast region, so he was always in the car, and he would always say that you got to find the one, and then you just follow right behind that one because you will never get pulled over. They will always get pulled over.
Always. Because they can't.
And don't stop. If you're following somebody, I was leading the way. I took the hit for the team. We were coming home from the beach. She went ahead and pulled over too. I'm like, "Why did you do that?" He pulled me over.
Mm.
Now he got a twofer.
Oh.
Why did you pull over? I said, "You could have just gone 5 miles down the road and pulled off and waited for me."
Mhm.
But no, you pull over. So he gave you a ticket too.
Oh no.
Like, and I'm not paying your ticket for you.
No, and I would
love you.
have asked to see the radar on that because he couldn't have radared her.
Oh no, we were all, we were paced. It was coming out of South Carolina, getting on. I mean, we're backing out. We're coming from the beach, and you've got unmarked cars that were slowing everybody down on purpose. So at the point where you get off the main road and the traffic and you're coming on to be able to get on a semi-highway, you're ready to open up and go. So you do.
And they're sitting there.
Yeah, they're sitting right there.
Mm.
Yeah, it was totally a trap. Totally a trap. Because the unmarked car got off and took a U-turn and went back to start it all over again.
Oh. I wonder how many cars they got that day.
Well, now I don't know if y'all have noticed, but coming home from Florida, I was seeing them parked up on top of bridges on the overpasses.
I've seen that too.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's a warning. Slow your ass down and be looking because they're there.
They're there, and now
And
Georgia,
they're clocking you.
they're clocking you, and then they have people up there to pull you over. And then the other one is Georgia has now got drones.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I heard about that. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm always like,
Yeah, looking around.
Back to distracted driving.
Mm-hmm.
But
The car's
but-
driving.
Yeah.
so we're good.
Maybe it should get the ticket.
This is going off on another subject,
I like it. Approved. Go.
so we may have to.
No,
Oh.
But
we're good.
could you do self-driving and have a few drinks of alcohol, and it wouldn't matter because you're
Technically,
driving?
no. Because you're still responsible and you have to be aware. Now, I have heard of other people that have done that,
Mhm.
not getting pulled over, but just get in and let it drive and then like set their thresholds to like, and so it is going to get you home and obey all the traffic laws.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's better than, but no, technically you're in charge of vehicles.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
So it would
I'm
still
just
be-
curious.
no, I asked
You
that
know,
question
like
too.
I wondered about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could that that be?
Inquiring minds. wanna
Yeah,
know.
we were just curious.
Yeah.
Huh.
And have you tried, so as you're parking, have you seen the little P come up on the parking spot?
Mm-hmm.
If you click the P, it parks itself in that parking space.
I did not know that. See, she's already knowing I need to.
She has investigated all the things.
All
I was
the
like,
things.
what? Because it came up, it popped up and turned white, and then it had a little P, and I was like, well, what does that do? So I pushed the button. I'm just not afraid of pushing buttons. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
It
True.
ejects you out of the car.
Wreck the car. I know.
But
I mean,
it'll put a parachute on you
Right.
as you go
As
up
you're
and
going
up.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did buy the garage door thing. Did you buy that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So now it knows when you get within a certain amount of feet of your
She
house,
just automatically
it
opens
auto
your
opens
eyes.
it. It knows when I'm backing, that I'm close enough to the house, I'm backing in, so it puts my mirrors in for me.
Mhm.
And then when I'm in, it closes the garage doors.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah. It is by
Okay.
far one of my favorite cars. It is my favorite car I think I've ever owned. Besides the Porsche.
Because it's got so many gadgets and
It's
toys.
so cool.
No, and I bought all
It's-
this custom stuff too.
Of course you did.
I went nuts. Well, I needed storage. It has
Yeah.
so many storage, so you need organizers
You need
for the storage stuff.
organizers.
Because there's no engines, there's no powertrains and stuff.
Yeah, so you have so much storage.
Yeah,
in
so I needed organizers.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a frunk
Yeah, which is so cool.
where,
Like the Volkswagen used to be.
Uh-huh.
yeah, but you also have the trunk, and then you have a trunk in the trunk.
That's to hide all the dead bodies.
Fair. I don't know. You couldn't put a big one.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No.
No.
Cut them up.
What'd you say?
Cut them up.
I started watching a show last night called How Not to Bury a Body. It's all these people who got caught.
Oh my God! What were you watching?
What
the
was
Murder
that
Channel?
on?
It was on Discovery.
Oh my word. That's
How
hilarious.
not to bury a body.
And it was
That's so funny.
it's so funny.
You gotta learn somewhere.
Yeah. How not to do it. You're gonna get caught.
I cannot go home until my husband does. Now we're going to go down.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Well, I
That's
mean, come
funny.
on. You know the highest consumer of murder podcasts is females.
It's true.
And men should be worried about that.
I have a few that I listen to, so true.
That's
Only if they're taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we take mental notes.
Mm-hmm.
At 70, it only works for like 10 minutes.
You're like, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing. I was auto driving all over Disney and figuring out the Tesla and everything else. So what were y'all up to the last 2
I love
weeks?
that. I love that.
I'm sure I knew, but now
No, you've just derailed, so we don't know.
We are
Yeah.
so far off. We are so far off.
No. Well,
Okay, so I have a legit, and it is a real estate question. I am, and I don't think they watch podcasts, so it doesn't matter. Or listen. I have neighbors in my neighborhood, and I'm trying to cultivate more in my neighborhood. So I haven't really farmed it. There've always been agents in my neighborhood and been there forever. They're not really hitting the neighborhood anymore. The other two that are in the neighborhood are moving, and they're letting go of a lot of stuff that they did in the neighborhood. They are also KW agents. But I've noticed some other agents popping up, and there is a specific house that I know very well, and I did not get the listing. It was overpriced. It's now dropped in price. I have, of course, they're on my auto mailers. So they get my things. My other neighbor has approached them and asked how they're doing. And they're not getting a lot of traffic. They're not getting a lot of showings. And I know I cannot directly market to this house. Because we don't steal other people's listings.
no. So
But
you
how do
know.
I advertise myself?
No. So hold on a second. So let me tell you a really common misconception here, because I serve on the code of ethics, like for the grievance panel, for the like the different panels that decide if like what is going to happen,
Uh-huh.
right? And a really common misconception is that you cannot talk to somebody if the house is listed. That's not true.
Okay.
So you can talk about your services for when their listing agreement expires. You can never induce somebody to terminate a brokerage contract, whether it's a BBA or a listing agreement or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
However, you most definitely can talk to the person, continue to follow up, and not give them advice. That's where a lot of people go wrong. It's like, well, if I had your listing, this is what I would do instead of what they're doing. No. You cannot do that, because then you're giving advice, and that's just totally, that is a different line. But you can explain what your value proposition is, and you cannot reference what the other person is doing. You can't be like, okay, your pictures are crap. So yeah. And that's usually where you start. But
it's a great house. I mean, I know everything about this house because I knew the previous owners.
Right. But you can most definitely continue to follow up and say when that agreement expires. Here's what I would like to present as, I'd like the opportunity to earn your business at that point. And here are some of the things that differentiate me from other agents.
Okay.
And that is such a common misconception.
It's been on the market. I mean, houses don't stay on the market in my neighborhood. I mean, 15 days is a long time in my neighborhood. Yeah. And we're working on over 60, I think.
So they started wildly high priced.
And it wasn't that it was that wildly high priced. It really wasn't.
Yeah, but if
it was overpriced. And he should not have priced it that high.
Overpriced in this market is wildly overpriced.
So
$5,000 at this point is wildly overpriced.
It's a great house. It is. It's a great house. It needs some TLC, but it's a great house.
Yeah. So talk to him about what you do that's different. And because we have people out here that are that are listening that are real estate specific and that aren't. And A, not every agent is created equal. B, that there aren't people blur the lines of what actually is ethical versus what's not ethical, and they're not reading the code of ethics to find out what those things are. And then there's a difference between license law and code of ethics. And so those two things, because if you break the code of ethics, then it can be education, it can be fines. And if you don't do that, then they can get more severe. You can lose your membership, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But it takes a minute to get there. Now, license law, that's when the real estate commission comes in and investigates, but they don't touch on code of ethics stuff. License law is, mishandling funds, misleading the public. They're really worried about protecting the public from stuff, as opposed to an agent talking to another agent's client. They're never going to get involved in that. That's code of ethics. But it depends what you say. And it's not a breach of ethics to continue to follow up with somebody that is in a active listing agreement. It's just that you cannot solicit them to terminate those brokerage agreements.
Gotcha.
But I love that question.
I think they're being unrepresented right now. Underrepresented, let me rephrase that.
Yeah. Which we see a lot, unfortunately.
So, okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
That's one of my favorite questions when I get asked that. Because most agents are not clear on that.
Cool.
Because somebody will be like, they talk to my client. I'll be like, okay. What'd they say?
Yeah.
And do you have proof?
Yeah. What did they say? That's always what they say. What did they say?
What did they say?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have something to share. So the last 2 weeks, I made a decision to step away from MAPS coaching.
Really?
So by the time this airs, I will have been done with that. I love coaching. I love training. I love all that. I do not love sitting in front of a computer on Zoom. I have learned that about myself. And I only have 9 clients. I've had a few more here and there, but in order to do really well at that, you need to be carrying 20 or 30. I would lose my mind. And I had a very real conversation with my MAPS coach. I was like, I love y'all, but this is like being a bank teller. I cannot do this.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks. I will be fully transitioned out as of the end of next week, maybe the beginning of the following week, somewhere right in the middle of October. But I am super excited because now I know that. Obviously, it was something that I went through for 2 years, and as far as like getting to the point where I was, so there was a lot of training and education and stuff that I've learned. But I'm really excited about being 100% back on sales. Like, so excited about that.
That's awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that.
I don't blame you. I've been approached more times than I can count about being a coach, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, I said if I could coach while I'm like in the car or driving or doing other things, but to sit on a camera on a Zoom call all day long with multiple people, I just it got to the point where like Sunday night, I was like, oh
Yeah, you're dreading
Yeah,
it.
I gotta do this again tomorrow.
Oh no.
You know, it's like, okay, that is not my
You
personality.
need to go from got to get to.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
I love working with buyers and sellers. I love running a team. I love the difference in the pace of the day. I am not a sit at home or in the office doing.
Well, good.
I just learned that.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I've been up to.
That's a big one.
Yeah. It's a huge one because now I'm like, obviously y'all, I'm having to redefine, like I have zero help on the admin side. And so now I'm like struggling a little bit because Olivia's full-time in her position. She's still able to like help pick up stuff like inner listings and things like that. But I really need to have somebody that's going to be able to dedicate as much time as I need to help move things forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Congratulations.
So excited. Thank you. I'm
No.
really excited about that.
I love it. Well, because that's so cool because you got to get all of that knowledge, and that is so much good stuff.
So much. And I will probably, that's what I even told my coach. I said, I will probably stay in contact with all those agents, and just every one of them have 10x their business since they've been coaching. So we've gotten them in good spots, right? And I want to continue to watch them grow. But I can't be the one sitting in front of the computer with them.
Maybe just a mentor to things that comes up.
Yes, yeah. I could totally do that. They could call at any moment, questions, brainstorm, how do I do, what are your thoughts? But so that's what I have learned about myself is I am not good in front of I have to have a crazy life. I have to have a crazy schedule. I have to,
Diversity.
I have to have diversity.
It gives you energy.
It does. It
Mhm.
does.
Maybe more podcasts.
Maybe more podcasts. My YouTube channel is changing. We've started that about 3 weeks ago. The content of it is completely changing. So I've got some fun stuff that I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So be more creative.
I could see you more as a bold coach.
I could probably do that. As a matter of fact, when I was at Mega Camp, they even introduced me as like the bold coaches together were like, hey, this is the new bold coach. I could totally get down with that. And that may be a direction I go. I don't know. I haven't given it much thought.
So for everybody listening, a bold coach travels and goes to different places and teaches 1 day a week in a different location. Usually the most amount of days is 4, but you have a little more control over your schedule, and there's 4 launches a year. But I could see that more than
And is a bold coach on Zoom or they're with
They're
people
in
person?
person.
Okay, that would
In
be
person.
yeah.
I think I would get more energy from that. I would be
Yeah,
fed more than just
I
what I'm
wouldn't
doing
like
currently.
to be on. I don't like to be on TV. I don't like pictures taken, but I'll sit in front of you and just chat all day long.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. My coach, like if you look at my coach and his partner's schedule, it is like 30-minute increments almost all day long, then planning time, masterminding time, and then back to 30-minute. And I'm like, I would have a hard time with that, but it's what they love to do. It's their passion, and it comes across. I love coaching with them, but it's not something I could do.
Yeah, they have to, it's very regiment. And then because you're East Coast, West Coast, like you might have something that's starting at 7:30 in the morning, and you might be sitting on a Zoom call at 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, depending on where your client is. So it can be very long days. So I'm pretty stoked.
I remember
That's
those from the law firm. So no,
No.
that's why I got into this side of it.
Yeah.
The flexibility.
Mhm.
Good job for like
Very
figuring
nice.
it out and just
Thank
saying.
you. Thank you. That's one thing I've learned about I am not scared of change, and I am not scared of taking a risk and figuring out, like, I just move.
Yeah.
I just constantly, if it's something that doesn't feel good, I am okay with like moving and changing, and
Well, because no matter what, you learn something from it.
always.
Like it never. I like change.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't. That's not.
I love
normal.
it too.
I
love
like
it.
having a friend who likes change.
See, I love it too.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of it at all.
because I'm fine just in my lane.
Mhm.
But
No, I'm like, if I'm gonna get bored, I'll go stir the pot. I'll go poke something.
Mhm. I'll blow it up. I usually blow it up. If
Well-
I get bored, I blow it up to figure out if I can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And that for that saboteur's assessment, if y'all ever read that PQ book,
Mm-mm.
oh, that's another great one. We've got to talk. We have to have like a full on thing about this book. But there's 8 saboteurs that everybody has. I think it's 8 in their personalities. And my number one is hyperachiever and a pleaser. And a hyperachiever blows things up because we get fulfillment at about hitting a goal and then blowing it up and then hitting another goal and blowing it up. And so I love to do that. Like if I knew like hit MREA status, okay, I'm good. I hit that. Like let me do something else. Now I'm coach. Okay, now good. I can do something else. I've always been that way. That's how I function.
Yeah.
Which is probably it's not good at times either because there's no consistency. That person also, when I lead people, I will run in and go, hey, let's do this. Let's change it. And then I'll have you on your way to go changing something. And then the next day I'll run and go, hey, let's do this instead of this, so you can
Your
get a little too
staff,
much.
your
Yes.
admin probably
Yes.
pays for that.
Yes.
because-
Well,
Yes.
here's the best advice I got for that because I may or may not identify with that a lot. Is that Brian Fair is one who gave me great advice with that because he had Michelle Still with him all the time, and he and her worked together so well because she would come back to him and be like, hey, yesterday you gave me this, the day before you gave me this. What is priority right now?
Mhm.
And then, but he would be like 3 or 4 or
Yep.
5 things. And then he would be like, oh yeah, 4 chunk. We're not doing that. This is not a part, right? And so like
Yeah.
having that other person that can help you like,
That's exactly right.
and isn't afraid that you're going to get irritated if you come and ask questions and like,
Yes.
hold on a second, because I just,
Somebody who can balance
that
you.
admin
Yes.
has to
Right.
run you.
But
Yeah,
you have to
especially that
have that
personality.
admin because if
Yes.
not, you're telling her it's the priority and him it's the
Yeah,
priority, and
yeah,
now they're all
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
you
right
have
hand.
You have chaos going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so what I do is I like to, when I get bored, I just take on more stuff. So as of the podcast will be, by the time this airs, it's public, is I took over the Atlanta Partners real estate school.
Hmm.
Yay.
So
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Do we need a teacher? Can I teach a class or two?
But you can teach all the classes.
Well, I don't want to do all of them.
Yes, we need a teacher.
But
I
would
want
like
to
to
say
come.
that the Atlanta Partners Real Estate School needs a cram course.
Oh, that's.
Oh,
I have an agent that I have she's not an agent yet.
We have a cram course.
We do have a
We
cram
just
course.
probably didn't know about it. Did we just not know about it?
or is it coming?
Because I
No, no.
asked about it before
It's
and was
been-
told we didn't have one.
Yes, because there's been some fascinating things that we have. Listen, here's what happened: is there's no judgment around this. It is that there was a really good admin who ran things the exact same way for long time and never changed anything. So it was very like there was no automation happening.
Mhm.
And so there's just so many, like there's a spreadsheet over here, and then this spreadsheet tells you this, and this spreadsheet does this, and the website is from 1910, and it's this, and it's that. So like just automating everything and making it like streamlined is really what we're coming in. And so when my bad habit is if something irritates me, I will either just start my own thing or just go take over something, because if I'm going to fix it, because I have to fix it, then I might as well just fix it for everybody. And so I was like, can I do that? Please, 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 please. And then I had this other brilliant idea that there's not like a ton of training for our role specifically.
Mhm.
And by a ton,
You mean any?
I'm trying to be very PC, and that is, there's theory. We're really good at teaching team leader theory. We are great at teaching agents step by step. Like we have so many playbooks and we have so many like step by step things.
Fair.
Have it on the
There's nothing like that for a team leader.
Yeah.
Of any kind. So like you are dropped in to run a real estate franchise, multi-million-dollar business, pat it on the head and said, I hope you figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And along the way, we're going to hold you accountable every single week to make sure you hit these goals.
Yes.
With no direction.
With no direction.
Yeah.
Go call people.
Yeah. Make relationships with the co-oping agents.
Yeah. And they're like, and you're like, wait, what am I doing? And so like so like it takes any team leader at least 18 months to 24 months to even figure out what the job is. Most team leaders only make it 18 to 24 months. That's it. Because it's just such a big job.
And they go, no.
Yeah. And it's a really big job. And now I'm 9.5 years in. And so like, I want to teach other people how to succeed in this and not just teach theory so they walk out with a book. Like, so, it's like a weekly, it's Mondays for 2 hours and then Friday for an hour. And that's it. And it's like, here's what you're going to learn. Here's what you're going to execute. Go do it. Fridays recap. Yeah. So I went and I'm like, hey, let's do that too.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah. So I'm like, let's just color and see what happens. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So the cram course we have is the cram course for the state test, right?
Let's circle back to that on offline.
Okay. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Even better, go talk to Renee. She's my director of ops for the real estate school.
There you go.
That is one thing. And you are the
Okay.
same way as Gary Keller tells you this, is like, don't own any business by yourself.
Mm-mm.
Partnerships.
Well, you are really good at delegating.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that. You're very good at
And holding
delegating.
people accountable. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the other thing. You can delegate all day long, but if you don't come around and either
Circle
coach them
back.
up or point out
Yeah.
what's not working, then why do it? I mean,
Katie said something really insightful to me the other day. She said, and I think this is true of all of us, is that she said that I have the expectation of our whole leadership staff to be as passionate about what they do as what I, like how I show up as passionate
Yes.
around it, that's the expectation I have for everybody.
Yes.
And it's not that I expect anybody to work like obscene hours or do ridiculous things, but you have to care. Like you have to care to be here.
Yeah.
There's that book that I read, and I'm drawing a
Oh.
blank of it.
Is it I Don't Just Work Here?
No. Oh gosh, I think Maggie read it too. We both read it at the beginning of the year or the end of last year. I was looking to see if it was on your.
so how many books do you read?
A lot. I mean, not a lot. I think.
Well, no, it sounds like a lot.
Well, not many. I mean, maybe like 6 or I don't read that many. Like 6 or 7 a year. I don't
Okay.
read it. I don't do monthly.
Okay.
I try. I have tried many of times to do monthly, and I don't. I get distracted.
You should have my coach for when you're doing 30, 60, 90, you have to read 2 books a week.
Yeah, I have done that. I have done groups where we had studied where we had to do 1 to 2 a month, and that was a lot. But it was the year that I did that, it was a powerful growing year.
Yeah.
Like I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about other things. In coaching though, you do read a lot. Like there was multiple books. I don't know this one.
That one was fantastic.
Okay, can I borrow this
Yes,
one? Have you read it yet?
I've read it. Yeah.
Okay.
I listened to it on Audible, so that's why my book is not creased. But
Okay.
yeah, please.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna borrow
This
one.
is so good because it's all about how to like people's purpose and showing up and what anchors them in places because it's rarely yes, we all come to work for money, but
Mhm.
you want to make sure that when people show up, that they're showing up with the passion and the care. And because that, especially for all of us, we're in a consumer-based business. And if you don't care and you don't have a team around you that cares, you're going to go out of business. You're only as good as your weakest link.
Yeah. I feel like that book was Circle something or other. It was to that same premise though, where like
Was that at that John Maxwell one? Was that 2-3 years ago at
it may have been. It may have been.
Because he had the circles of like the different ways people work and stuff.
Yeah, and then like you can. It's about getting the max you can out of each team player.
Oh,
and helping them self-discover like what it is that they love. The circle, love and work.
Love plus work.
Oh,
I have all the books.
She's all things.
she does. I'm sure
And
it's upstairs.
Is
I'm
it?
certain. Yeah, but I'm gonna read this one. But anyway, I forgot how we just went down that hole. What were we gonna say about?
Oh, welcome to my world, Rachel.
I know.
I don't know.
Word.
No, here's the thing though with books is that what I will say is Rachel reads a lot. I try to read quite a bit.
You listen to a lot of books.
I
More
listen
so.
to a lot of books
Mhm.
more so, but that's how you because stay in learning base,
Mm-hmm.
like obsessively, like
Always learning.
always learning.
Yeah.
My job is
Yeah,
always
changing.
learning. It's always changing,
I
though.
bet it
I don't
is,
get
yeah.
to do as much of that because I'm reading guidelines.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like you're.
Yeah, you did
you're-
tell me you wake up really early and read.
Yes.
Guidelines.
Like, I wake up
Last
and read my
week-
meditation.
No, last week I was up 3 days at 3:00 in the morning and 2 days at 4.
I was up last night at 3.
That's why you do what you do, and I now do what I do.
I know.
Is it like one of those things like you can't sleep and so that's how you go back to sleep, or is it
No,
just that
I'm
was
up. But if my head is, if I'm doing work in my head at 2:30, I'm not going to go back to sleep. So it's always the thought that if you get up and you do some of these things, then if you get tired, you can go back.
Perhaps
But
you
you-
can turn your brain back off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to turn my brain back off. But then after a while, you go, okay, I'll have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. The puppy comes with me. If I'm out of bed, the puppy's out of bed. And so, then it's a different environment and I'm not as stressed and I get some work done. And then I kind of have my own hours. So at 4:00 in the afternoon, I would say I'm tapping out, then I'll go home and
be done?
Get in the
be
bed.
done. Yeah, take a nap.
Yeah.
So that's just the way my brain, it's hard
Yeah.
to shut it off
Yeah,
though.
I get that.
And
too.
now, because now the job is transitioning to possibly more refinances than purchase. And when you start thinking about it, well, when's the last time you really did refinances? Now the whole thing at work is trying to get everybody either on board because they're young and they've never done a refinance, or remembering everything you have to know about not over promising and under delivering. And if it's this, you've got to do 6 other things. And if you got mortgage insurance, do they get a refund back on it? So that's, and that's why they make wine in the evening.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
And I'm being nice because I really mean bourbon.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know what Seth had in Disney? You will appreciate this.
No.
We went to this new restaurant, and they had Blanton's.
You know what? Oh, you want to hear a story? Seth's going to be so upset. So we go to Indiana a lot. My mother-in-law is 93, 94 years old. And in Indiana, you can buy alcohol in the grocery stores.
Right.
You mean like hard liquor?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
talking about. So,
Wow.
The South is pretty much everywhere
Mm.
else in the country. For the
Yeah.
most part, you can buy it in grocery stores.
so we go, and it's literally so much less expensive than it is here. I mean, like $20 to $25 less. And so, right next to the nursing facility that my mother-in-law is the Kroger's. So we go in there and bop in to get snacks and stuff for her, and we go through the liquor.
Uh-huh.
And my husband, and I was buying a gift for my mother-in-law, flowers, and some little guy comes up and says, "What you doing?" He says, I'm look, we don't get to do this in Georgia. He says, "Well, what are you looking for?" And he says, "Oh, I don't know why." He says, "Come with me." wait till you see what I have more stuff in the storage area.
In the back room.
Guess what he got to buy? Blanton's. And it was so cheap. And it was because they can have, somebody can order something that if it comes in, and so this individual had ordered it, but they have 48 hours to pick it up. And if they don't pick it up and pay for it in 48 hours, then it goes to whoever wants it.
Wow.
And so, and my brother-in-law kind of, there's a little competition between my husband, comes in and finds out he's doing this. So my husband just said yesterday, he said, I won't say his name, guess what he got? I said, what? He goes, he got his own bottle of Blanton. So it's not just a one-off thing. They have a connection there. So maybe I have to be really, really nice to Seth and
Yeah, see if you can get him a bottle.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. No,
Does it have to be, can it be half empty?
He would be totally fine with
Yeah.
that. No, I mean, because it was like this special reserve one
Yeah,
that
it's just called pre-opened.
pre-open. It's okay.
Mhm,
He would be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
So they have it's a special reserve for Disney that the executives get to go pick their barrels and stuff.
Yeah.
And so the server was so nice, and he's like, "Well, you just missed it because last night we finished a bottle and we gave the empty bottle to the guy who ordered the last shot out of it." And so it's like, whoa. Well, how low are you on this bottle? And he's
Right.
like, "Well, we just opened it." And he's like, "Oh, I guess they're running the price on that." And he's like, "So I won't be getting that bottle." And they're like,
thanks.
"Yeah," because he was just like, because that was so funny. He's like, "So just out of curiosity, if I was to buy it, what would it?" He's like, "They absolutely fundamentally will not sell it to you.
Yeah,
just won't sell it to you. Like you just won't get it."
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you know.
Now you know.
Kroger, Indianapolis, South Side.
Mhm.
Don't tell Seth that. Only if you're shipping it. And only half a bottle. I mean, he'd be fine with even this much less.
Oh. You know how
Just a
much I
taste.
love Seth, so we'll see what magic.
You can make happen.
We're going there this weekend
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Mm.
to Indiana. I'm not getting a vacation. All I'm doing is driving back.
I have
to
never
Indiana.
heard of this bourbon.
It's scarce, and therefore it's high in demand, and therefore it's
Oh.
very expensive, unless you get it at the Kroger store.
Which I've never heard of
I
anybody
know,
getting
that's
at
pretty
Kroger
That is pretty
ever
funny.
in my entire
Wow.
life. So there was this one bar down on like in the panhandle of Florida, and they ended up getting an allotment of 2. Now this was a couple of years ago, and they got an allotment of 2, and they made them into Jell-O shots,
Wow.
and they were never given a bottle again.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh.
well, why would you
Why
do
would you
that?
do that?
Because
insane.
you don't even understand. Yeah, that's ludicrous. It's just ludicrous.
No.
No.
Yeah, because the bar owner was like, I don't think it's the best bourbon. It's just that it's rare. So people like whatever. And so anyway, so that's what he chose to do with it. And anyways, needless to say, he is blacklisted off.
Yeah.
He's never gotten a bottle
Well,
since. And
yeah.
Seth is like, that's a lie. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Mhm.
then he doesn't understand bourbon because, yes, there's different. I do like bourbon. We have.
I
we
do
go through
too.
a lot of bourbon. But I do mortgages for a living. I'm telling you what, it'll make
That's the
Mama
That's the
a
reason.
very less crazy person with a nice. And it has to be expensive enough that you're not just chugging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I like whiskey too, Jack Daniels and stuff like that. But if it slows the pace down if it's really, really good. Yes. And Blanton is one of the favorite flavors. I have a lot of favorite flavors. So you come to my house.
Let's see. Do you have a bourbon bar?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
To see that.
Yeah.
I know.
And we just buy stuff a lot just to drive our friends
My best
crazy.
friend's husband just got into buying bourbon. He didn't drink it a lot. He's bought it. He and his daughter's boyfriend, and so now he put shelves up in his office, glass shelves, and then he put lights up underneath
Yeah.
it, and he's got all of the bottles. He will drive and he'll go off the way just to go find a new place to go
Yeah.
look at and buy different bottles of bourbon. He's got.
Wow.
I'm
It's really pretty to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sad that people have now treated it like an investment property when they never drink it. They just hold it so it'll increase in value. Well,
Cindy's like, open the bottle.
open the bottle. Open the
Appreciate
bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that just made it.
I did that with Barbies
sad for the
kids.
rest of us.
Oh, I know.
You could
people
never
would, like,
open the Barbie and play with it. My kids hate me because I told Nora she could have it.
That's
You
funny.
left the Barbie in the box?
Yeah, I did. I gave them one to play with, and I bought one and left in the box.
That's hilarious.
That's like our kids were the first kids that got Cabbage Patch
Oh,
dolls.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. I mean, literally, they were at Toys R Us or whatever, and we bought them. And of course, the girls were playing with them, and they're saying, "Oh no, you're supposed to have them as a collectible."
Oh, please.
No, it's a doll.
And let's be honest. Like, I have an original set of Raggedy Ann and Andy's from my great aunt. They sit in my closet. What am I going to do with those things?
Well, and something is only as valuable as someone's willing to pay
right.
Yes.
for it. And we learned that because my father collected old Coke bottles.
Hmm.
We had a shed full of them.
Wow.
We had a crawl space under the house that was huge, full of cases of old Coca-Cola bottles. It was his hobby. He would go dig them up. He had a blast at it. When he died, we tried to sell them all. It's only what somebody wants to pay for it. I think we sold everything everything. My dad's hobby for the last 20 years of his life or more. I think $5,000, and that included the shed.
Yeah.
That's the shed too.
That included the shed. I don't have that kind of
time
time.
in my
No.
life. I don't
No,
have
me
the
either.
capacity for that.
Oh no! Oh no!
All right, that's it. We're done.
Okay.
Thanks.